Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to GGKCS, the multi-generational podcast / FlossTube for fans of all things knitting, cross-stitching, geeky. I'm Cece.
I'm Danny.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Sunday, the 6th of June, 2021. How is it June already, Danny? I know. And this is episode 446. We'd like to say a big welcome back. Love y'all. To all returning viewers and a big hiya to any new viewers, thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. We have a lot to cover today, including a review of the brand new Pom Pom quarterly that just released. And so if you've got nothing, we probably should just dive in. All right, here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what's on her needles.
So, in my adorable kitty bag from Little Fish Stitches, I'm working on birthday socks for my bestie's oldest son, Noah, who is going to be 10 this year. What the actual, Dammy? 10. No. He was 2 when we met him. I'm using my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern that you can get on our website.
JavaPearlDesigns.com.
Yes. I'm using US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is West Yorkshire Spinner Signature 4-ply in the Fairy Lights colorway. Sock number 1 is completely done. And since I saw y'all last, I started sock number 2. So the stripes match up, the colors don't match up. Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. Like, the stripes didn't even need to match up, but I just was trying to make them if I could. So I am getting close to the heel. I think I need to do, let's see here. I think when I'm just about to finish the color stripe I'm on and to be back to the green, I think I need to do one more full color stripe and then green, and then when I'm getting into the next color is when the heel is going to be, I think. So, yeah. So I'm making progress on these. Yeah. And I'll be able to give them to him in person because they're coming to visit in July. And I'm very excited. I cannot wait. So there's that. And then, of course, I'm working on today's preemie hat. It's back here on my desk, partially done. So I will show you that completed next week. But that is the only thing I'm knitting on. Although I think I mentioned maybe last week knitting plans. Because once I finish these, I'll be casting on a cowl for my niece Lola's birthday. And then cowls for my nephews Wyatt and Waylon's birthdays. So those will be the next things that go on the needles after this. And I've picked yarns, and I'll be ready to go on that. All right, well, let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about her finished project.
So here is this week's preemie hat, or well, what I did last Sunday. But this is number 22 for the year. How much is halfway through the year? 26?
Yes.
So getting close to halfway through the year on these. So I'm knitting 23 today. So this is for my free pop-down preemie hat pattern you can get on our website.
JavaPearlDesigns.com.
I used US 6 4mm needles, and the variegated yarn is Patton's UK Fab DK in the Pebble colorway, and the black is Barocco Vintage DK in the black colorway. So I use the black to bind off. I like to do that. I did something fun with the ribbing on the one I'm knitting on today, so I'll show that next week. So yeah, I like to play with these and make them fun. Motorcycle. I will try to.
I think that's just a fast car.
I think I will try to pull as much of the sound out as I can. The outside sounds, but we need the door open. Although today is actually chilly compared to what day
It's not chilly.
My toes are cold.
It's warm outside.
Oh, well, what day was it this week that it was so hot? Was that Monday?
Monday and Tuesday.
Oh my, y'all. It was in the 80s, and I don't have AC because that's not the norm up here. Like, my office has AC, but most apartments and houses do not have AC. So it was not hot compared to living in Texas and New Mexico. It was hot for up here with no air conditioning. So Pink Pearl kept moving around the floor She would find a cool spot, she'd lay there, and then it would get warm, and so she'd shift and lay in another spot. Poor thing, she was so warm. So, alrighty, well, that's the only thing I finished this week, so I think we're ready to move on to the next segment. And now it's time for FlossTube. What you got going, Dammy?
Still doing this rose bookmark. I just picked it back up.
I feel like with you having more time this summer, you might be able to finish it before the end of the summer.
Maybe.
Depends. Dammy will be looking for a job to supplement a small part-time job they have. Okay, so tell us about this.
Oh, it's a project that came in like cross-stitch mail.
And you changed the colors, and you're doing it on like a 14 count Ada?
Yes.
Yes. It is going to be beautiful.
That's it.
That's it. I actually need you to hand me my stuff. I didn't get it before I started. Okay, first up, I have an FO this week. Look at this adorable. This is Cat in Heart. It was a DMC kit that my friend Michelle Bendy Stitchy gifted to me because it's a pink cat. And it's a 14 count Ada. Flosses came with the kit. On Instagram, but on all my social media, I posted a picture of it with it out the back stitching and then with the back stitching, and oh my word, what a difference it makes. So, very, very cute. I like the back stitching over the flowers especially because it just gives them kind of that petal definition. So there's that, and then I need those other two bags. Okay, this is a lovely Jane Eyre project bag. I am no burden, no net ensnares me. That came in a Black Needle Society subscription box. And I am working on, I'm going to put it on the screen because I realized I don't have a printed out picture of what it looks like. This is Dreaming Girl by Barbara Anna Designs, and it was a stitch along, and I got like 2 or 3 days in on it and then found out about the Gilmore Girls sampler and dropped it and did the Gilmore Girls sampler. So all the clues on this have been released now, so I've picked it back up. I am stitching this on a 14 count Ada from Fiber on a Whim, and the color is Lipstick. And I believe it also came in a Black Needle Society box. And I'm using mostly called for DMCs. That's fairly true, I guess. It looks a little more orangey than it actually is. So let me fold it and that way I can get it up here closer to where I can show y'all. So I'm down here working on the girl. So I've done her shirt. So her skin tone is like 2 or 3 different floss colors. So I did one full floss color, and then now I've started on this second color. So I think I'm going to finish her whole face and then start on her hair. And then once I finish the hair, do all this stuff that's around. And this is a needle minder from Black Needle Society that says Stitch with all the colors, that came in the Rainbow Stitches box that I unboxed for y'all, I believe last week or the week before. So, making some progress on it. And I love it. It's a very, very beautiful pattern, and I'm excited to be back working on it again. And then I was just showing Dammy a minute ago. I mean, like, this is going to take me a while to do. But I was showing Dammy what I think I'm going to pick up next. It's John. We were getting prizes out for the summertime and the living is easy. Ow. That is, we're going to talk about here in just a few minutes. So, and then the final thing that I worked on this week in my Winnie the Pooh bag from Knit Run Dig. This is Edinburgh Castle by Terra Luna Stitchery. I know it says something else. They changed names. So there's that. And all the details about everything that I'm using for this project are in the show notes.
GGKCS.com.
So I am doing this on I think it's a 25 count gridded fabric. And I'm doing the 25/7 challenge where you choose a project and you either work 25 minutes a day on it or do 25 stitches a day in it. I'm doing 25 stitches, except for one day every week I do 50 so that I finish 2 100 stitch squares a week. So here is where I am now. So when I tabulated my numbers on Friday night, so I had just finished that second square there. So the stitches in this box are what I did yesterday. But when I finished this square right here, I was at 33,000 stitches exactly out of 265,824. And that puts me at 12.414% complete. Oh, and I'm supposed to show these. Okay, so in the Black Needle Society Rainbow Stitches box, they gave us these quilting peels, which I think they were originally made to go around spools of thread, keep the spools of thread from unthreading. But somebody, I don't know who, but they were brilliant, came up with the idea of using them so they just go around the Q-snap, so they unroll, and they can go around the Q-snap to help hold the fabric in place. I find it works best on when it's not a whole lot of fabric. Now, down here at the bottom, I'm using these silicone ties. So there's a magnet there, and then I have it threaded underneath the Q-snap inside the grime guard around the back here, and then there's a magnet in this side. So it's magneted together on both sides. And for bigger, thicker chunks of fabric, these work better. But for smaller amounts, the quilting peels work. Like even for, like I have one over here too. One over here too. So, so that helps definitely to wrangle excess fabric, especially in a project this big that's like, I think it's like 3 feet by 2 feet or something when I finish it in 12 years. So these work best for it. And I've got the link to these in the show notes if you want to, because I just got them on Amazon. And I think they came in like, I don't know, like a 20 pack or something. So, so I just do that. When I finish this column, which will be in 3 weeks, I'm going to take this off the Q-snap. I'll take a photo, video, something of it, and then I'm going to reset it on the Q-snap to move it over some to give me more space to work. So, but this right now, it's bleeding up here into, and I accidentally stitched the edge of the fabric. I accidentally stitched the edge of the fabric down, and I had to like cut it out. So it needs to be moved so that I don't do that again. Yeah, so that's where I'm at though on that, and I haven't stitched my 25/7 stitches today, but I in my Instagram stories every day I post a picture when I do my 25 stitches, and then at the end of every 7 days, which is on a Friday, which is also typically when I do the 50 stitch day, I post it like to my regular social media feeds so that you can see like my progress. So I finished 5 full weeks on it. So and doing 200 stitches a week, that's 1,000 stitches that I did not have 5 weeks ago. So 25 stitches is more than 0 stitches. So, all right, well, that is everything for FlossTube. We do have something cross stitch related coming up in Yummies, and we have cross stitch prize available in the new summertime owl. So you should definitely stick around. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are Yummies, Sammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. So last week when I recorded by myself, I showed you from Target, from the Target Pride section, the lesbian bandana that I got, and I was wearing one of the shirts I bought, and I told you I would show you the other one. So this is the other one I got. So it
already
says,
covered in cat hair.
Yes. It says Pride. What does the small sign say?
Break the binary.
Break the binary, and then it's got the trans flag and the Pride flag, and they're like marching in a Pride parade. And then I bought Dammy the you tell them.
Oh, it's the non-binary flag.
So you can
the bandana.
Yeah, you can fold it. So Dammy can either fold it to make the stripes go like this, like I did, or fold it to where the stripes are like that. So it just depends on how wide you fold it, if all the colors show or not. Mm-hmm. So, and I ordered these through the Target website because I knew, the Target here in the neighborhood is just one of like the grocery stores with just, I mean, it has some other stuff, but it's a small one. So I knew they wouldn't have the extended sizes on the shirts. And so that's why I just ordered it all online. So, yeah, I'm not sure what they still have in stock, but It's worth a look if you're looking for some Pride merchandise. Oh, remind me to show you a shirt that I found that I want to get.
Okay.
It's very cute. Okay, the other thing we wanted to talk to you about is the Witchy Stitcher, who is a designer. Is she the designer that did the Haunted Mansion one you did?
Maybe.
I think so. It feels like the same kind of aesthetic. She released a free pattern I shouldn't say that. I don't know what their pronouns are. So I'm going to use they, them, because I don't know. They released a pattern this week for free, and I've got the link for it in the show notes. And it's the link in the show notes takes you to like a page with like all their freebies. And right now this pattern is at the very bottom of the page because I guess they probably go from oldest to newest. But it says safe space on it. And it has we're showing you on the screen. It has the heart using the updated Pride flag. Is there a specific name for that Pride flag?
No.
Okay. So it's got the black and the brown and the transgender colors in it. And then the pattern is surrounded by bats because she does spooky stuff. If I were to stitch this, I probably would not stitch the bats. It's not a huge piece. I think it's like 46 stitches or something wide. So it's not a huge piece. But I think I would just stitch the heart and the safe space. I might even make that for my cubicle at work. It would be a fast little stitch. But I was telling Dammy a while ago, like I've been brainstorming like my next tattoo. And I've been saying I want to get a heart made up of cross-stitch stitches using the Pride flag colors. So the rainbow colors. I think this heart with these colors, done with cross stitches, would make a really cool tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be something in the future. I would reach out to her and just ask for permission to use her art, to use their art as a tattoo. So I thought that might be cool. But I love the free pattern. And so I just wanted to share that with y'all. I saw it on Instagram earlier this week, and I was like, I want to make sure and share that with y'all. So go and check it out. If you're looking for something to stitch this month during Pride Month, this would be a great one. I might even set aside Dreaming Girl for just a few days and just stitch this up right quick because it should be a fast stitch. So we shall see. We shall see. Do you have anything else for Yummies this week?
No. No,
you've just been like schooling. All the papers, all the projects, all the schooling. So I did see that SPU Theater released the shows for next year on social media.
Yes.
So do you want to tell them what they are or just direct them to where, I don't remember what their Instagram username is.
SPU Theater.
Okay. So there's 4 shows.
Tickets are not on sale yet.
No. Which Jane Austen is it?
Pride and Prejudice.
Pride and Prejudice. Are you going to audition for that one?
I have to audition for one of them.
Oh, Dammy has to audition for all of them.
But yes.
So do you just audition until you get cast in one, or do you have to audition for all 4?
Audition. It used to be audition until you get cast. Now you have to audition for all of them, unless the rehearsals for one show overlap with actual show dates for another.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. That makes sense. So, all right. Well, if you want to check those out, SPU Theater, is it ER?
R-E.
R-E
is the only correct way to spell it.
That is the British way. I didn't tell you this funny. I was at work this week and I was on the phone with a patient's dad, and they were spelling their child's name in it, and it had a letter Z in it, and he said Z is in Z. Mm-hmm. And I was like, we got done, and I was like, I love that you said that. I was like, I lived in the UK for 4 years, and so he was telling me about, he was actually from
Canadian.
No, he was Australian, but I was like, I love that you use Z. And I was telling him about that. I have to double check stuff when I type it at work because my default is to add the extra U and spell things the British way. So I get the squiggly lines, the spell check at work all the time and have to correct it. So. Alrighty, let's move on to the next segment.
going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
So what are you reading, Dammy?
I actually read The Triumph of Horus by H.W. Fairman this time.
Do you know this is very expensive on Amazon?
Yes, I do know.
Because it is out of print?
Yes. I mean, it's not been updated since 1977. So
That's the year I was born.
I know.
And I'll be 44 this year. So which class is this for?
Theater History 1.
Very good. And we've already discussed that you're working on papers and projects and all that jazz. So, well, I assume with all the reading you're having to do for classes and writing papers and projects and such, you're getting in 15 minutes a day.
Yes.
What am I referencing?
The April, May, June row.
Read along. So this is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day every day. I don't care what you're reading, as long as you're reading. Audiobooks do count. By participating in the seasonal alongs, you earn entries into the year-long challenge, and at the beginning of 2022, we will draw for 3 grand prize winners. And all the details are in the show notes, as well as in the Facebook group. There we go. Okay, what I am reading. I'm continuing to read The Body Keeps the Score, Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma by Bessel van der Kolk. I'm reading that for my counseling. I am rereading, I'm so excited, I am rereading Untamed by Glennon Doyle for my LGBTQ faith book club. And this time, the first time I read it, I devoured it. I just read the whole thing in one night. This time I'm taking it slow and I'm reading 3 essays a night, because if I do, it worked. The math worked out. If I read 2 to 3 per night, I would be done in time for the book club meeting. So I'm reading right now. I'm doing 3 a night, so that I'll be done with it for that. I love the book. Love the book. Love her podcast. It's called We Can Do Hard Things. It's amazing. Yes. I have not started the next book in the Harry Potter series yet, to reread along with Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast and Swish and Flick and All Potter podcast. I saw that the episode that dropped today for Swish and Flick is a book movie comparison from book 5. So I need to rewatch. I haven't rewatched film 5 yet. So I need to do that. And then I'm not sure if I haven't listened to the Swish and Flick episode yet, so I don't know if they have said if they're starting book 6 next week or what the plan is yet. So and then I finished reading 2 books in this series, and I'm reading a 3rd book in this series. This is the Kitty Norville series by Carrie Vaughn. I actually think I listened to all of these as audiobooks, maybe, potentially. So I did Kitty Rocks the House, that's number 11. Kitty in the Underworld, that's number 12. And Low Midnight is number 13. That's the one I'm listening to right now. This is a fantasy series with werewolves and vampires, and she is a late night radio talk show host that talks about supernatural, paranormal things. So, I read the first book in the Magicians series, aptly called The Magicians, by Lev Grossman. I've also been watching the show. I have to say I am not impressed with the book series, and the reason why is because fire station right down the alley, is because the author repeatedly uses the word retard to refer to people, and I'm not okay with that. I had an uncle who had Down syndrome, and using the word retard to talk about somebody is not okay with me. So that really put me off on the books, and I don't think I probably will read the other books, and I don't know if I'll watch the rest of the series. They have not done that in the TV series that I recall, but in the books, yes. In the book, yes. And I was not impressed with that at all. So I am reading a book called, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Dammy. I think it's La Bastarda.
Bastarda.
A novel by Trifonia Malibi Obono.
I don't know.
I think. It's translated by Lawrence Schimmel. It's written by an author. It's the first novel by an author from Equatorial Guinea. I'm reading this for my lesbian literature book club, and it's a coming of age story in this small town where it is not okay to be queer. And I only have, I think, maybe 2 chapters left of it, which book club is on Saturday, this coming Saturday. So I only have 2 chapters left to read on it. So it's definitely very interesting to see it from that perspective. And then I just started last night reading The Echo Wife by Sarah Gailey. And this is a book with clones in it. And this guy, his wife, doesn't want to have children, doesn't want to give up her career to have children, so he clones her and gets the clone pregnant. And that's just in the first few chapters. So, watching House Hunters. Damien and I just watched an episode of House Hunters renovation. So, Law and Order Special Victims Unit. I finished season 17 and I'm in season 18 and watching also for the episodes for the That's Messed Up and SVU podcast, which is not safe for children. I don't have many seasons left until I'm caught up to present. And when I get caught up to almost present, I will be watching Law and Order Organized Crime along with it because there's several crossover episodes. So I already have that saved on Hulu for that. I'm rewatching season 1 of the Gilmore Girls along with the I Am All In with Scott Patterson podcast. I'm in season 3 of The Magicians. I'm watching Killing Eve. I finished season 1 and I'm watching season 2. Definitely not safe for children. It's about an assassin. I binged yesterday the entirety of Mayor of Easttown. And it was more amazing than what I had been told. I am usually one who, because I read and watch a lot of mystery, suspense, thriller stuff, and I can, a lot of the time, figure out who did it, or at least have it narrowed down to like 2 or 3 people that I'm like, okay, I think it's one of them. This, I'm not going to spoil it because it's such a big spoiler. I'm not going to spoil it. I was blown away. I had not even suspected the person who was the killer. But the show reminded me a lot of like Broadchurch, set in a small town. There's a murder, missing girls. Kate Winslet was brilliant in it. I read some stuff that because she was an executive producer on it, but I read and also played the lead. I read some stuff about that she said about making it and her like demand that, you know, this 40-ish year old woman would not be making herself up to the nines every day to go out and be a police detective. And so she fought hard for limited or no makeup and just, you know, making it be very, very real. Jean Smart was amazing in it. It's not a safe for children show, but so well done. So well done. And then I'm watching season 4 of The Handmaid's Tale, listening to all those other podcasts that I mentioned, as well as My Favorite Murder, Spotify playlists.
Kevin Pressure, Spotify.
That's what we're reading, watching, and listening to. Well, it's time to award some prizes, so let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about the March, April, May Sheepy Spring Owl. So I don't.
We're finished with it. It's
Yes.
over. But why don't you give shout outs to people who finished in the last few days?
Okay. Andrea, Emily R, Jane S, Jennifer B.H, Nadine, Sarah G, Silver, and Tracy O.
Great job, everybody. Sorry, I'm yawning. Okay. So we're going to announce the prize winners. First off, what do we want to say to the donors?
Thank you so much to everyone who donated prizes for this owl. If you would like to donate prizes for this or a future owl, you can email us at ggkcspodcast@gmail.com.
Yes. And, okay, so any prize winners are going to have 30 days to claim their prize, or you forfeit it. If you were a prize winner, email us at that email address again. What was it?
ggkcspodcast@gmail.com.
For all but one of the prizes, we're going to need your full name and mailing address. For the pattern prize, I will tell you when we get to that one what I need from you. Yeah, so I think let's start. Do you want to say the prizes or the winners? Okay. So first up, we have the Alpine Flowers cross-stitch kit that was donated by Hillary, and the winner is?
Number 92, Silver D.
We have Uru Yarn by Knit Crate Chunky. We have 2 skeins of petal. So 2 winners are each going to win 1 skein, and those winners are?
Number 88, Andrea J. And 146, Emily R.
We have Audine Wools by Knit Crate Sleek. We have 2 skeins of Unwind. Again, 2 winners will win 1 skein. Those winners are?
155, Jane S. And 19, Tracy O.
We have 2 Honeyberry Studios notebooks. 2 winners are each going to win 1 notebook. Those winners are?
37, Brittany M. And 100, Tyra J.
And then we have a pattern of the winner's choice from Peruvian Flair on Etsy. So if you're this winner, I need you to go to the link in the show notes, choose a pattern, and then email us at the email address we said earlier with what pattern you would like from the shop. So that winner is?
53, Sarah G.
So Silver D, Andrea J, Emily R, Jane S, Tracy O, Brittany M, Tyra J, and Sarah G. Please get in contact with us. Give us your name and mailing address, except for Sarah. Just tell us what pattern you would like. And congratulations. And again, you have 30 days to claim your prize or you forfeit it. So since this owl is over, that means we're starting a whole new one. So let's talk about it.
Now we're going to talk about the June, July, August.
Summertime and the living is easy.
So this started on the 1st of June and it runs through the 31st of August. It's for any project you knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew that you can convince us is related to summer. If you can't think of anything, you made it in the summer. There are a couple main rules, as there are in all our owls. The first is that no whips are allowed, so your project must be begun no earlier than the 1st of June and finished no later than the 31st of August. And each project that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin must be at least 20 yards. If it's not at least 20 yards, you need to group several projects together in a single comment and thus a single photo in the Facebook FO thread. You can feel free to polygib and other longs as long as it fits in with other rules. That's totally fine.
There is a link to our Google form both in the show notes as well as in the Facebook group. By filling that out, it tells us what crafts that you enjoy doing so that if you're a prize winner, we can make sure you get a prize that is a craft you do. If you don't fill out the form, you'll get what you get.
We have lots of wonderful prizes on our screen right now. If you are interested in donating a prize for this or a future owl, you can email us at ggkcspodcast@gmail.com.
We should talk about them in detail since this is the first podcast. Do you want to go first or you want me to?
You.
Okay, so first up from Knit Crate, we have 2 skeins of 2-ply superwash undyed sock yarn. And Kool-Aid to dye it with. 2 winners will each win 1 dye set.
We have a skein of Mineville Wool Project Super Sock in the 2909 to 36.4 colorway.
Very descriptive. We have an I'd Rather Be Buying cross-stitch wallet.
We have a braid of Countess Ablaze fiber called Geeks Like Rainbows 2.
And we have a Yarn Squad drawstring backpack.
Yes, if you would like to look at these in more detail, you can go to our show notes, ggkcs.com. You must be a member of the GGKCS podcast group on Facebook in order to participate. There's a hashtag if you want to post on social media, GGKCS Summertime 21. The FO thread will be locked the morning of the 1st of September, and winners will be drawn for the next podcast. After that, and any winners always have 30 days to claim their prize or they forfeit it. There's also a chatter thread in the Facebook group, and only one person has finished a project since it began. It was Sarah G.
A whole pair of socks in 5 days because she posted it yesterday, I believe. So work on those, keep working on those projects and get them posted, and you might be a winner of a prize. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeks, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them.
Yes, and so this week we have a question from Celeste that was posted on one of our YouTube videos. Do you want me to ask all the question at once or just in one? Okay. So Celeste says, Dammy, does SPU, that's where Dammy goes to university, have an overseas program that you can attend? If so, would you consider going to one of those locations? Has COVID affected that program? If you could go, what theater program connected to SPU would you attend?
So there aren't any theater-related programs overseas that I know of. I think there have been in the past, but there aren't any more.
But pre-COVID, there were study abroad.
Yes.
But those haven't started back up.
They are going to in the autumn.
Okay. So there are like traditional study abroad programs, but none theater related. So, if you could go to any one of those study abroads, like if you could study abroad, where would you want to study?
There is an Ireland, Scotland literature one.
Ooh, that would be lovely. Yeah. Would you consider like a London-based one?
Maybe.
Yeah. So, anywhere in the UK. So, okay, that was a really good question. I had not even thought about that, especially with COVID. Study abroad obviously was completely canceled. So, that was a very good question. Thank you for asking, Celeste. Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
You can post it in our Facebook questions thread or in the YouTube comments.
I just split a stitch. Don't worry, I fixed it. Yeah, and we will answer it. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now we have a review.
Yes. So, as I showed y'all last week, the new issue of Pom Pom Quarterly. This is summer 2021. This is number 37. I saw on Instagram this week that they celebrated their 9th birthday this year. So, and as I do every time Pom Pom comes, I smell the pages. So the theme for this issue is listening and learning and birds. Yeah, freedom, rebirth. So first up, do you want to say the name and who did it?
Oh, Rifle by Carly Olfert.
So it's a top, like a tank top style. Let's see if there's another picture. So it's got a fairly low back to it. This is an ode to the skyward formations made when birds migrate. This is done in 9 sizes. In a fingering weight yarn. They used one that was 100% rayon made from bamboo. So that would be a very, very cool yarn. US 2s, 2.75 mil, and US 0, 2 mil needles. It's worked from the bottom up in 4 panels that are then seamed, and then I-cords are made to for the straps. Yeah, so a lovely cabled pattern. Very nice. Okay.
Phoenix by Sandra Gutierrez.
This yarn color is so beautiful. So this is a crop tank top, but with wider stripes. Not stripes, straps. This one has a little higher back than the previous one. This is a crochet pattern inspired by the symmetry and patterning of feathers across a golden phoenix body. This is done in 9 sizes with a sport weight yarn, US 7 4.5 mil crochet hook. It's constructed in 2 separate identical side panels that are then joined together at the center back and center front. It starts with a triangular section and then is built from there. And then panels and straps are sewn together. And then an edging is done. Okay, next up we have.
Lodestar by Kirsten Rivetta.
So this has got like a 3/4 length kind of puffed sleeve to it. That detail is beautiful. This is inspired by like the way that birds navigate because of the Earth's magnetic poles. Very pretty. Comes again in 9 sizes, DK weight yarn. US 6 is 4 mil, US 7 is 4.5 mil, US 4 is 3.5 mil needles. It's worked from top down in the round with yoke and creases that become the geometric lace patterns. And the sleeves are put on hold and then worked at the end. I love the sleeves on these, the kind of puffiness to the sleeves. Very, very nice. Next up we have
Ardelia by Ksenia Nadyan.
So this is cropped top butt with more traditional sleeves instead of like the tank top style sleeves. So this is inspired by the great blue heron, their courtship ritual dances. It's got Estonian braids in it, and it comes in 2 lengths. So you can have cropped or the longer option. It comes in 10 sizes with a DK weight yarn, and they do give you information on how much you would need for the crop version versus the longer version. It's done with US 4 3.5 mil needles, and it's knit sideways. Front and back are worked separately and then seamed at the shoulders. And then there's shoulder shaping, and then a 3 needle cast off to join for added structure. And it's a very, very nice top, and I like that they included instructions for making it longer.
Picky Day by Allison Boots.
So these are socks. And these are inspired by the woodpecker and their plumage. And they come in 4 sizes using a fingering 4-ply weight yarn with US 1 2.25 mil needles, and they are knit cuff down. And they have a heel flap and gusset. For the heel on those. Okay. Then we have
Passerine by Chloe Elizabeth Birch.
So this is again well, not quite, well, I guess about a 3/4 length sleeve. I love that squishy garter stitch on the sleeves. It looks so squishy. This is inspired by the birds of the order Passerine are the perching birds. And so they clutch onto branches or telephone wires and build their homes. And so she used that kind of as an inspiration for this. It comes in 9 sizes on a sport weight yarn. US 2.5 3 mil and US 4 3.5 mil needles. It's worked flat in 4 pieces from the bottom up and then is sewn together. I love the detail on the sleeves. Just so, so pretty. Very, very pretty. And then we have this.
Soul Bird by Sari Nordlund.
So this is a nice, this would be a nice layering piece over like a linen dress or something. This uses the inspiration of the peacock tail. It looks so light and flowy. Done in 9 sizes, DK weight yarn, US 2.5, 3 mil, and US 4, 3.5 mil. Knit from the bottom up to the armholes, and then flat, and then those are seamed. Neckband is I-cord, and I love it. It's just so pretty and light and flowy. What was the blend of the yarn that they used was a 60% cotton, 40% linen, which would be nice and light for summertime. Okay, and then we have this shawl.
Fauna by Kirsten Rivetta.
These colors remind me of one of the Outlander shawls I designed. So this is based on folkloric visions of people turning into birds. Very interesting. Okay, so this comes in 1 size, 85 inches wide by 19 inches deep. It's done with a fingering 4-ply weight yarn, and it uses US 4, 3.5 mil needles. It's a narrow shawl, worked sideways with contrasting colors, ends, and lace tip. Garter stitch is alternated with stockinette stitch with a dash of asymmetrical lace. Very pretty. Okay, here's probably my favorite one out of the whole issue.
Hoopo by Valerie Rachel.
Look at that. That sleeve detail and that side detail. So pretty. This is inspired by the plumage of birds, but the pigments that make up the shades of different birds, which this one riffs on the pink body of the hoopoe, whose wings and tail are accented with black and white stripes, and the pink crest is crowned with black dots. That I love that. That is so fun. This comes in 10 sizes. A sport weight yarn, US 3, 3.25 mil needles, and it's knit top down. Collars worked in the round, and then yoke with raglan increases, and then flat back and forth rounds with intarsia at the sleeves. At the end of the yoke, the sleeves are cast off and the body's worked in one piece, and then separated to do the front and back hems. If I were to knit this for myself, I would make it a little bit longer, which would be easy to do because you're knitting in the round until you get to that split for the hem. So that would be very easy to make it be longer. But I just love the detail on that. So pretty. What was your favorite pattern?
I think the shawl, Fauna.
That one. Which is just a nice comfort knitting. Okay, and then there is an article called Adaptation Navigation, written by
Solène Leroux.
Talking about how knitters and crocheters have adapted to the new pandemic realities. And the article uses bird life as an inspiration about this time of adaptation. And it's a very interesting article, as well as she talks about inclusion at retreats, which can have a reputation for exclusivity. And she talks about how she tries to make her retreats very inclusive. And then there's a tutorial to make ruffled feathers, sunglasses, and mask chain by
Noria Casadea Cuiver.
Which, you know, is very apropos. I use mask chains every day when I go to work because in my cubicle at work, I can have my mask off. So I have it attached to, I've got 2 different mask chains. I just wear, wear it attached to one of the mask chains so it can just kind of hang there. And then when I do need to leave my cubicle, it's very easy to put it back on. This uses cotton rope and cotton yarn to make this. So very, very cool project, and it's got castles on it, which I think is so fun. And then we got all the pattern instructions, and then wait, I missed the where's the recipe?
It's at the very end.
Is it at the very end? Did I just miss it? Oh, there it is. For
Feather Bread, Pandan Coconut Milk Loaf by Fiona Churchill.
The pandan is a leaf with a sweet grassy floral aroma. Very interesting. So you make a milk bread dough and a coconut crumb and a pandan custard. And look at that. It's like divided up and then like kind of braided together. Very, very cool. And then, again, as always, information about the people who contributed to the pattern, to this issue. I love that they're including their pronouns, which is very, very important. And then information about the yarn. And that was Pom Pom Quarterly, Like a Bird. I think there's some very, very pretty pieces in here, especially if you're looking for items for a summer wardrobe. I love those sleeves. And I really love and Dammy loves the shawl. And then my favorite, of course, is this top, which is very, very nice. So, as always, Pom Pom Quarterly, we love their issues, and we're glad that we can bring this piece of the UK into our home, even though we're not living there anymore. So, Pom Pom Quarterly, get your copy today. All right, let's move on to the next segment. With that, we made it to the end of the show. I told you we had a lot to talk about today. So, we'd like to remind you about our Pride Along that we're doing with several other podcasters. This started on the 17th of May and it runs through the 30th of June, 2022. So more than a year long. There is a YouTube video in our show notes that tells you all about it. And there are several hashtags you can use. Ours is hashtag GGKCS Pride Along 2122. Do we have any announcements?
No.
I don't think so. All right. We'd like to say a big thank you. Love y'all. To everyone who supports the podcast, no matter how it is you do it. We are just grateful that you watch and join with us every week. Thank you, especially to those of you who support us financially. It's used primarily to ship out these prizes that we awarded today and for some technology behind the scenes. So there are several ways you can support the podcast financially if you'd like to. Main one is Patreon and YouTube Join, which is a way that you can pledge a certain amount to your favorite creatives and earn rewards or perks based on the level you donate at. Dammy, if they want to sign up or learn more, where should they go?
Patreon.com/GGKCS.
And for YouTube Join?
Or click the join button beneath any of our YouTube videos.
Yes. What's another way?
There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you'd like to make a one-time donation.
Yes. We are bookshop.org affiliates, which is a site that has a mission to financially support local independent bookstores. So if you purchase from our shop, we earn a commission as well as local independent bookstores. Our shop is located at bookshop.org/shop/GGKCS, and we are amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, if you go to our site first, click on the appropriate Amazon link, do your shopping as normal. We earn a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra. Great way to support the podcast by doing something you would be doing anyway. Dammy, where can they find us online?
You can find us at ggkcs.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, Instagram, etc.
That's right. Well, with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. Was it this last week that you got your second vaccine or the week before?
Yeah.
So you're about to be fully vaccinated out of that 2-week window. And we encourage you, if you have not gotten vaccinated yet and you are able to, that you do that to try to help protect yourself and those around you, and wear your masks where you're supposed to, and stay safe and healthy. And we hope you have a lovely creative week, and we will be back with you again next time. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
There's something lumpy in my bed. Pinky, what are you doing? What are you doing under there? What are you doing? Are you hiding? Are you hiding? You're so silly. Oh, you're gonna come out? Oh, you came out. Oh, phew. Okay. You're so silly.